Hello, welcome to a new video. On this episode, we're gonna touch on candlesticks. This is gonna be the first video on a long series of videos about technical analysis. Why? Because when we're doing technical analysis, all that we're basically doing is just reading candles. Now remember, there's different type of candles, but in this video, I'm gonna teach you the most common and used candles, which are the Japanese candlesticks. Let's get to it. What are candlesticks? Candles in trading are visual representations of price movements over a specific time period on a chart. As you can tell here, we have a 1 minute candle over here, a 1 hour candle over here, and a daily candle over here. Now you may notice that all these candles are exactly the same, and this is solely for the purpose of me explaining to you that you cannot tell a candle's time frame just by looking at the candle. Let me explain. Imagine we're here on the charts and I blur the top here where you can see the time frames and I ask you, which time frame is this candle? Right now, we're on the daily time frame and it's pretty obvious that of course we're on the daily. But if I blur this, you wouldn't know which time frame this candle is on just by the way it looks. Because candles can look exactly the same through different time frames, and there's no way to identify which time frame a candle is on unless we're looking at the time frame. That's the whole purpose with me doing these candles all in the same way, but that doesn't mean, of course, that each candle is going to look the same through different time frames. All that I'm trying to say is that you cannot tell which time frame the candle is on unless you actually look at the time frame. Now, how do we read candles? First, we have to know the anatomy of the candle. Candles have three components, which are the wick, the body, and the color. The wicks are gonna be the ones on top and bottom of the candles. So, this little black string that you see on top or bottom of a candle are gonna be the wicks. So, you're gonna see two wicks in a candle at the bottom and at the top of the candle. Now let's jump into the body. The body is gonna be what's in the middle of the wick, the top wick and the bottom wick. So whatever's in the middle, it will be the body. Also, another way to determine which one's the body is by looking at the color. Everything that's colored is gonna be part of the body. So in this case, this candle is green, and every bit of the candle that's green is part of the body. Now the color is very self-explanatory. Color is the one that's colored. So if you have your candle in colors of green or red, that's the color. And it's gonna be either bullish or bearish. This is what the color is gonna represent. And this is our next step in our sections to know the why. How do we apply this knowledge? Because it doesn't matter if the wick is the wick, the body is the body, the color is the color, if we don't know why or how to use this. So first, let's jump into the wick. As you know now, there's a top wick and a bottom wick. The top wick is going to represent the highest point that price reached during a specific time period. So the top wick is going to represent the highest point price reached during this specific time period of the candle. For example, if this is a 5 minute candle, this will mean that this was the highest point that the candle reached during these 5 minutes. And bottom wick is going to represent the lowest point that price reached during a specific time period. In this case, let's just say 5 minutes, meaning that if the wick is all the way over here, it started here, but it ended here, it means that this was the lowest point that the candle reached during this 5 minute period. Now let's jump into the color of the candle. The color will tell you whether price is bullish or bearish. Bullish means that price went up during these 5 minutes or any time frame that you're on, or red will mean that price went down during this time period. Okay? Now, this is very important because the color of the candle is going to determine whether the opening or closing of the body is here, or the opening instead of being here is over here. So, the body. The body shows opening and closing prices. The opening on the body shows the start of a candle. So, for example, if price goes up, if price is bullish and the candle is green, it will mean that the opening of the body is below the closing. Why? Because a green candle means that price went up. The opening needs to be below the close because it starts below, then it ends above. It goes up. It's bullish, it's green. Now, the closing of the body. The closing of the body will show you the end of the candle. So, like I already explained, the closing, in this case, in a bullish scenario, in a green candle scenario, the closing needs to be above because it ends above of the opening. It starts here at the opening and it closes above on the closing. It's green, it's bullish. Now, it's the same exact thing on a bearish or red example. The wick is the same, is the highest point. The wick here is the same, is the lowest point. The color is gonna be different, of course. Instead of green, it's gonna be red. So bearish, basically. Body is exactly the same, shows opening and closing prices. The concepts are basically the same. The only thing that will change on a bearish or red scenario will be the closing and the opening of the body. In a bearish or red scenario, the opening will be above of the closing. Why? Because bearish or red means that price went down within this 5 minute or 15 minute or whatever time period of time. So price has to open above of where it closes. It starts at the opening and it closes below over here. So just by common sense, you have to understand that the bottom and the top of the body will show you the closing and the opening prices. Same thing here. Instead of the opening being here in a bullish or green candle scenario, the opening will be here, the closing will be here. Now let's do a quick recap on what we have learned through this video on a live chart. Let's pick a random candle to analyze. For example, this one over here. We have to identify each body part. Okay? Now, which one do you think the body will be? I give you 3 seconds. Okay, that's right. The body will be this one. All the way from here to here. Now, which ones are the wicks? Give you 2 seconds. Correct. The top wick will be this one. It's very, very small. Let me zoom in. It's very, very small, but it's there. And the bottom wick will be this one. Now, last one. Where is the color? The color will be the one inside the body. So, between here and here. This. Now, is the candle bullish or bearish? This one is a tricky one because the default colors on a candle are usually green or red. In my case, I use white or gray, bluish, kind of as green or bullish, and black as bearish. So in this case, this will be a bullish candle. Now let's pick another candle. In this case, a black one or bearish candle. We will go for this one. Let's zoom in. Which ones are the wicks? Yes, the wicks are here and here. Now, which one is the body? Correct. The body will be this one from here all the way to here. Are we bullish or bearish? Well, I already gave you the answer, but yes, it's bearish. Now, where is the opening and where is the close? The opening will be here and the closing will be here. Why? Because this is a bearish candle, meaning that it starts here and it ends here. Since it's bearish, it goes down. So it has to start here and it will end here, with the highest points of the candle being all the way here and the lowest being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm looking forward for the next video. If you want to join my private mentorship, link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.